in the pod. This is going to be a part 1 of this week's podcast. I will upload the second part probably tomorrow, and you guys can have a listen if you care. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this show, and I'll see you guys in our next one. Enjoy.
Don't be
Yes,
outfit every single
absolutely.
fucking day.
We're going to get started. We already got recording, so
Okay. Keep this in.
so we got Samantha left, and they replaced Samantha with what's her name? Lillian Garcia. That's her name.
Why?
And
Yeah.
yeah. We have that. We have NXT.
She would have been the only person that people aren't wild. I was like, oh, and I was like, I don't even like Lillian like that. And I was like, oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, she came back. Well, I mean, I'm going to explain some things about Samantha because there's a lot of misinformation and we need to clear some things up. Then we got Bound for Glory is Saturday, and then Halloween Havoc is Sunday. Okay. We got new lawsuits for the WWE. NXT 2300 is on November 6th. Tessa and her long chin has resurfaced. And we got some entrants.
Well, not so long anymore, looking like.
She got work done.
We got TNA Hall of Fame entrants. And we're going to talk about AEW and some of the stuff that they have planned, as well as some things that we've seen around the interwebs. Okay?
Okay.
So first, let's start with Samantha. Then we'll go into NXT, and then we'll go into Bound for Glory. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
We're just going to start. I'll do intro and post, so that way we don't have to do nothing extra.
Yay.
Okay.
I gotta go get my food.
So we're back today, and we haven't been together in a while because life be lifing, but we're here and we're going to talk about some things. Now, we didn't talk about the PWI Women's 250 list only because Nicole and I covered the list on my live, and then I posted it on our podcast. So you guys got something when it comes to that. Okay. And we're going to talk more about some WWE stuff. So Samantha announced Monday that she was leaving WWE as the announcer for Monday Night Raw. She penned a really beautiful letter of, goodbye to everybody that she worked with, everybody that she loved. She talked about the superstars, the people backstage, Triple H, everybody. She thanked them, and she basically said her goodbyes. Now, where the controversy comes in is that Wrestling News Co. made the announcement that she made this revelation a few hours before Monday Night Raw. That was not true. Samantha came out and said, no, that's not true. I told them months ago that I was leaving. And I was like, oh, so where did you get your intel, Wrestling News Co.?
We know shit. Come on. They've posted so much crap that's wrong, but I digress.
So Samantha said, no, I told them months ago. So a lot of people were speculating. They accused Ricochet of encouraging his fiance, aka future wife, of leaving to go to AEW. That is also not true. Ricochet has said that she has no intentions of doing any announcing for AEW, and she also has confirmed that she is not working with AEW. I think she just didn't want to be married and separated from her husband within the first couple of years. I mean, if she's not working with WWE, she could travel with Ricochet on his bus. She can have her babies if she wants to. They can work out the schedule and around Ricochet. And I know it seems a little traditional, okay? And a lot of people are like, oh, they can figure it out. But what works for them is what works for them. And in my mind, the only way I can see why she would leave the job, because honestly, she could have left a few months after Ricochet did, if we're being honest, right? The only thing I can see is that she came to a realization that I'm going to be on the road 300 plus days out the year. We're going overseas a lot more. Schedules changing. Things are changing. I'm not going to be able to see my husband or her stepchildren because he has kids. I'm not going to be able to see my kids for a while. I want to be able to establish some type of roots for my family. And if that's the case, that's her business. And if that's not the case, that's her business. I'm sad to see Samantha go because I really love her on commentary. And she was an integral part of the new rebirth of WWE, that renaissance that we have been talking about for a couple years in wrestling. And then she made history along with Alicia Taylor for being two Black female ring announcers. That ain't never happened nowhere.
Right.
Okay. So she, from what I've seen in terms of news, is that she has no intentions of doing any news, any announcing anywhere. And that if she was to ever come back to doing any type of ring announcing, she would go back to WWE because that's where she wants to go.
So, you could go ahead, Alexis.
I'll just make mine short and sweet. I'm going to miss Samantha. I'm going to miss the way she says Chelsea Green when she does the intro.
Oh, by the way, Alexis, she has her soundbite of her saying it in her entrance music now.
Okay.
So you'll always hear it when Chelsea comes out there. It's always there.
That is awesome. It sucks because I really like Samantha. I think she has a great voice. I love how she everyone would get on her for like how she would celebrate like big matches, and she came out and be like, I don't want to know the ending to this because I'm a wrestling fan and I want to be excited with everybody who's there, which that's always been something I love about her, because she could easily be like, deadpan as hell, but like when Cody won the title or anything major that happened and she got so hyped, I was like, okay, she's one of us. She's a fan, she's a fan living our best job. So can never knock her for that. I think maybe she just wants to, I agree with Tiff. I think that she wants to spend some time with Ricochet. They're engaged, they want to get married. She probably wants to be, she probably wants to try to have a couple of kids. When you're traveling all over the place and you're trying to pin in time for your husband, much less trying to make a baby with your husband, that just, no. Wish her the best of luck and everything. Maybe one day she'll come back to WWE. I mean, it sucks, but I understand why she needs to do it. If she's not going to AEW, fine. If she does show up, I will throw a chair just to say it. But no, it sucks because I love it when I'm playing like 2K24 and she says from Tampa, Florida, and somehow the way she says it, it just like itches my brain so nicely. Or scratches my brain so nicely. But, maybe one day she'll come back. She probably just want to have a couple kids with Ricochet. She probably wants to spend some time with her husband, when they get married. She might come back. You never know. Am I excited that Lillian Garcia is back? No. I'm not.
Why you don't like Lillian?
I don't like Lillian either. But, having a bitch back, I was very nostalgic. It might last. I'll give her maybe another week and she's going to get on my last fucking nerves. But she's an OG, so it's,
Okay, I don't hate Lillian. I just think it's like they could have. I don't know. I can't really put into words what I'm thinking, but
I can't either. I just don't like it.
Well, I'm not even talking about Lillian. I just, it's just like it's gonna be hard to do like a transition and all that, and it's just like I'm gonna miss, Samantha's enthusiasm and stuff, and that's what I'm gonna miss. And I just,
you know what I would have thought would have been, would have really gagged if they brought Michael Rome back up and they put Lillian in NXT.
Oh hell no, they'd have been mad as hell.
You know how goated that would have been though. That would have been so good.
like wrestling fans get pissed off. You do.
But that is so good because it's like, damn, like Sean's really doing it down here.
I
was
see
look at like storyline wise, just like NXT is telling it that much. The women are that great down here, X, Y, and Z, that we got Lillian Garcia out of fucking retirement.
That actually that's not fine. That's not a bad idea. I'm not mad at that.
You know,
I would have ate them up with that story. Oh, I'm so mad the video was clear. Who was I talking about? Samantha. Okay, there's a couple things about Samantha. I agree with you guys are saying, but I also think he's gonna be recording an album or something.
Oh.
I think that she got an offer to do something, whether it's record or something. I think she's gonna go make music because that's her dream. Um, Obviously, so Ricochet has his son, and then she has her daughter, and there was also, um, like a couple comments saying that she wants to be able to spend more time with her daughter. Um, and then I was listening to Cheap Beat this morning when I was getting ready for work, and then they were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, they were just surprised it like got announced that day, but like since Peter Rosenberg works at WWE as well, he's like not surprising at all. He's like shocking the time, but her actually going, he's not surprising at all. He was saying like obviously like she's been very vocal and also working with people in WWE to like get her to the next level because she wants more. She wants to do more than just ring announce. And she's so passionate about X, Y, and Z. And then he's like, obviously, he was like, yes, we do love her. He's like, she's literally here because she's a fucking mark. He's like, just to put it frankly. Like, she's here because she's a fucking mark. That's the reason she literally took. He was like, he's like, and you ought to be frank, like, this is low key below her. How talented she is.
Yeah.
He was like, if you want to be completely honest, he's like, how crazy talented is. He's like, this is below her. And he was like, and she's always had aspirations to do more. And he was like, I think he's like, obviously she's going to be home. He was like, she's not going to AEW. And he's like, she specifically is a WWE fan.
Fair.
This is her whole life. He was like, no. He was like, I do think she got opportunities to do something else. And it came apart. He's like, it probably came together like a lot quickly than like originally planned. But he was like, yeah. And he was like, and he's like, I think he didn't talk to her directly about it. It was either Ricochet or I think it was Ricochet. He was like, they sort of had a conversation about this. And he said that he mentioned like, because, he said like, I guess they were like, once Samantha's done ring announcing, like, she's probably going to be much done until he comes back to WWE. And then he was saying like, but he was like, she'd be so good. He's like, to do like special event, like pop up here and there in between. He's like, whatever whether she has a show or like is doing music. He's like, or she's like promoting her album or something like that. He's like, oh, he's like, wouldn't it be so sick? He was like to her to announce like the Tyson and Jake Paul on Netflix. He's like, come back for. She's like, again, regardless of it being Jake Paul, that's good. That's a huge fucking deal. I'm watching that shit.
I'm watching it too. Tyson better win.
Yeah.
He
So that's
better
what I'm
fucking
saying. Like
win.
that's like
shit's
regardless of who, like that's like real big shit. So yeah, I think this is doing something creative, and I feel like, and I low-key feel like they're getting married soon
Yeah, they are
too.
actually.
Yeah.
Huh?
They are. They are getting married soon.
Yeah. So again, I'll piggyback a little bit off Alexis. Yeah, I think they're, again at the same time, especially since I don't know how far, I don't know their kids' ages, but I feel like their kids' ages aren't that far apart.
No, they're young kids. Like they're close in
Yeah,
age.
Ricochet's kid is like he's like a decent age. His kid is at least like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like Samantha's daughter is around that age.
Also the age that, we've talked about this with like Beth Phoenix saying she's done with the ring right now and all this stuff. Like, speaking as like the only parent here, my kid's turning 10 this Sunday. I have no idea where the hell those first 10 years went to. I really don't. And especially
My hips.
Did you just say my hips?
Yeah.
Thanks. But like
I'm talking about my hips.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about mine. I'd be like, damn girl, okay.
I don't know.
No, it's just like those are like the ages where they start like becoming their own person and like developing their own personalities. And like my kid's got a new hyperfixation every other week. And it's like you want to be around to see like that stuff and be part of it and just be like, look at this little human that I created. It's no longer, so needy for me. Like they need me, but it's like they're becoming their own little person and you want to be there for them, especially around that age.
Yeah. So we're glad Samantha's doing what she believes is best for her, her family, and her career. So the door is always open with WWE. It doesn't look like Triple H burns bridges with pretty much any of the superstars. A lot of them leave. Now when they leave on pretty decent terms with the exception of a few. So I don't know. We just wait and see how it plays out. But whatever Samantha does, if she comes out with an album, I'm going to listen to it because the girl can blow. So I'll listen to it if she come out with an album. And she hosts the Tyson fight, but she's the announcer, which I don't think she would be because I think that homeboy, the OG, is going to be doing it because they love him doing it. Anyway.
Oh, what's his name?
Michael Buffer.
Yeah, I don't know that word. Is that his name?
Michael Buffer. Yeah.
It probably going to make him do it.
Damn, let's say he's been alive for a minute.
They keep... I don't know. I thought he was dead a long time ago, but you know what?
I did too. I was like, I know, I did too, up until like a couple of years ago. I was like, damn.
We're gonna move into some more WWE stuff because NXT is having their Halloween Havoc PLE, and it is not on TV like it has been for the last couple of years. It's going to be on the Peacock network as a full-fledged PLE. So I got it pulled up so you guys can see. If you want to look at your phones, you can see it.
Okay.
We got all the matches. I think they have all the matches up here for the match card for right now. And of course, we're going to start off with the main card, the main match, which is the NXT Championship. Ethan Page is challenging the two-time champion, Trick Williams, and their fight has been decided with the spin the wheel, make a deal in the Devil's Playground. So the championship is going to be defended in a Devil's Playground style match. Now, I've seen this happen before, but because they're going to be in a venue for this, they're not going to be in the Performance Center. From what I understand, they're supposed to be in Hershey, PA for NXT.
I don't know what's there. I have been to Hershey, PA.
That is where the Hershey factory is at.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally why I went there.
So they're supposed to be in Hershey, PA for this. This is on Sunday, October 27th. The show starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. So it's a Devil's Playground match, which means this match might be a little bit more, they might have a little bit more stuff going on than they did in the other Devil's Playground matches that we saw. I believe Roxanne Perez had a Devil's Playground match. I want to say it was sometime last year before she turned heel. I don't remember who she was going up against. I don't remember. But it was in the Performance Center. It was a little kiddie, but they had the stuff there. It was against Kiana. I think I want to say it was against Kiana. I'm drawing a blank as to who she went up against. Either way.
Girl, I can't even remember what happened last week, much less a year ago, so.
It's a Devil's Playgrounds match, which means anything goes in this match, and usually they have the stuff set up so you can see it. And since Shawn Michaels is at the helm, he is a showman at heart. Maybe we'll see some better effects than we've seen for the last couple of years when it comes to Halloween Havoc. Next match is another big match that everybody's looking forward to. This match is a tag team match. It is Stephanie Vacker and Julia versus Roxanne and Cora Jade. Now, the reason why this is set up like this is because when Julia originally had her match with Roxanne, Cora interfered. Stephanie showed up to get Julia's back. And so the two girls, the four women, have been going back and forth because of it. Hopefully Julia will get some redemption at Halloween Havoc. But before we go into that match, you guys pick your winner for the men's match. Are you going to go with the champ, Trick Williams, or are you going to go with the challenger, Ethan Page?
Nicole, you go first because I got something to say, but you go first.
Honestly, I feel like Trick is probably going to retain. We can't do a hot potato with the title. Just keep on Trick.
I agree.
Literally only for that reason.
I don't want to see Ethan Page the championship again, so I don't care.
I'm gonna go with Trick just because, and I've kind of seen them doing this a couple times already, and I'm just leave the belt on Trick, give him a decent run. Okay, stop giving him championship titles for like one fucking day and then putting it back on someone else. I don't like that. So, and they've been doing it a lot lately, and I don't like it. But I'm gonna go with Trick because Ethan Page dresses like a fucking history teacher.
He dressed like a history teacher, Jesus.
I have never met a history teacher in my fucking life that dressed like that, Lexus.
He's like, oh, I'm a cool history teacher. And if y'all listen to the show, y'all know how I feel about the so-called cool history teachers because I had an issue with mine. So maybe that's why he gives me the creeps. I don't know, but I'm going with Trick.
I feel like he walk around like a politician. He just gets on my nerves. Ethan Page just gets on my nerves. He just do. But Alexis, you have anything to say about this, or you want me to move on to the next match?
I'll move on to the next match. I already said I'm picking Trick, so I agree with Nicole. They can't be hot potatoing with him, so.
Like I said, we got the tag team match between the women. Cora Jade will face off against Roxanne Perez and Julia and Stephanie. Sir, who you got?
I'm going with Stephanie and Julia just because I have waited so long for them to get to NXT. I don't like the tag team because honestly, these two should be fighting each other. I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent. I really don't want to see Cora versus Roxanne for the 150th time because they don't do anything. They may have fans of it. I'm not a fan of it. But I'm giving Sean a year that Stephanie and Julia better be like two of the most dominant women on that roster in NXT because they don't need to be lumped into, just tag teaming against Cora and Roxanne. Like, I want to see them fighting. So
Nicole, who you got?
What?
Who you picking?
Oh, duh. And Julia
She picking
and
her
Stephanie.
faves.
Bitch, who else? Like, are you serious?
I just wanted you to say it.
Oh, fucking, you thought I was gonna say Roxanne and New Kitties? Who is this?
Not
Are
new
you
titties.
fucking kidding me?
Man.
Oh,
No. I just wanted her to make her pick, y'all. That's all I wanted her to do was to like verbalize the pick. That was it. She's so extra.
oh my god, those titties are insane.
Stop. Stop it. It's unanimous. I think Julia and Stephanie are gonna win. If they don't, I'm gonna be upset about that. I mean, that's the second time that Julia especially will be on the PLE and to lose. It'll suck balls. Okay. Next match, Tony D'Angelo is your North American champion, and he will be challenged by the previous North American champion, Darula Obafemi. And this match is a tables, ladders, and stairs match.
Oh, I remember that one. That had Candace and what's her tits in it.
Said, what's her tits?
I remember Candace, but I don't remember the other girl, so I apologize for that.
No, it's funny. It's fine. It was just funny. That just made me laugh. It gives me a little giggle. That's all. So to give you just this minor backstory, Tony D'Angelo beat Obafemi at the previous NXT show. He beat him on a roll-up. And he came out the next week and he explained that the reason why he went through this whole diatribe of him being afraid of Oba was to take Oba off his game and be able to beat him. So essentially he tricked him into false confidence and then he was able to beat him. Okay, cool. Sir, Obafemi wasn't too happy about that. And he told Tony, he said, you know what? You got me. I'm not going to lie. You won. But he said, the next time we meet, and there will be a next time, I'm going to regain my championship. Now, Tony D'Angelo didn't seem to be fazed. He was very confident and happy, obviously, because he has a championship. Obafemi also told him something else. He said that the next time that they met, that there would be no family in his corner. It was just going to be him and Tony. He didn't believe him. He spun the wheel. Tables, ladders, and stairs is what came up. That was a stipulation for the match. Now, the following week, Tony D'Angelo's team all got snuffed out. You see, prior to this, Luca didn't like the fact that Obafemi threatened the family. He felt like he needed to be taught a lesson. I was like, maybe you should have sat this one out. You shouldn't have, tested the ruler, but you did. And now you probably at home with a neck brace. Because this past Tuesday, Obafemi made very good on his promise. He took out Stacks through a table, and he damn sure took Luca out through a ladder. Put him through a ladder. Now, Rizzo was attacked backstage before they could even go out during Luca's match with Obafemi. The problem with that is nobody knows who attacked her. But it's being alluded that Nikita attacked her on Oba's behalf.
Okay, so this is something I wanted to tell you for a little while. You need to go get your man, Tiff, because why he's sniffing around Nikita?
Listen to me. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Okay? That is not my business.
Are you sure?
No, it's not my business. I didn't do it. He did it to himself. Now, I'm going to say Shawn Michaels is known for planting seeds that don't grow. Okay? So I wouldn't play too much into that just yet. I know it looked bad. But usually, he's got a curveball coming around the corner, and it's going to be somebody you never expected. Okay?
That's going to make no fucking sense, and we won't. And then we would quickly move on from it.
Yes. So that's why I'm saying, in the moment, it looked bad, right? But at the same time, you got to think it's Shawn Michaels. This ain't Triple H. Triple H is very transparent. Like, you could almost count on him down to the minute of what he's going to do. I've been calling his shit ever since he fully took over. I've been calling it every single time. The last PLE, I had every match right. Every one of them. I was like, oh, you very meticulous. But Shawn Michaels not like that. Shawn Michaels likes a swerve. He likes to keep things very peaceful, but he likes to cause a little chaos in the back. So you have to sometimes you have to take what you see with a grain of salt with him. That's why I said I ain't got nothing to do with that. You just got to watch it and be like, okay, I see where you're going now.
I'm just going to say that if something happens between him and Nikita, I don't want you screaming and yelling about it because that's
Too
your
late.
name. You should have handled it.
Too late. I was yelling and screaming on Tuesday. Okay.
That was a mess. That was a fucking mess. I said, frame this.
It stank. I didn't like it. And I don't. Jakara right there. You could have used Jakara for that. Now, granted, Jakara and Lash are being used, and they're being used everywhere. They're everywhere on every single brand. Lash looked like she belonged no matter where she go. Jakara fit in. Like, if this is their way of testing how to bring people up, they damn sure did it. And they need to be on the brand. They need to go somewhere. I would have them go to SmackDown. They need to fill out that roster because SmackDown is lacking when it comes to the girls right now. But I would have used her. But I was like, what you using fucking Nikita for? Nikita ass, that MAGA bitch don't like. Like, no, go away. Go away, you culture vulture bitch. I don't like it. I was upset. They was on TikTok. They was tearing her ass up.
They should.
It's tearing her ass up on TikTok. I said, well, it's what happens when you tell everybody you vote for Trump. That's your business. You should have kept that shit to yourself. You should have told nobody. Anyway, so you got Tony and you got Oba. They're gonna do a tables, ladders, and stairs match. He took out all the members of the Don's family, and it's just gonna be Tony and him. So who y'all got?
I don't like it when they always say, "Oh, this champ's been this champ for this long," and then the next thing you know, they lose it. Don't hate me. I think I'm gonna go with Tony on this one. Because if they hot potato this title, I'm gonna be like, Sean, what the fuck you doing back there? I know your lazy eye is getting to you, sir, but you gotta be able to see this shit, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think okay, so I think Tony's gonna retain because Oba is gonna
I hate it. I hate it so much.
he's gonna retain because Oba is either gonna get that NXT championship or he's being moved up. Oba's been in the mid card for just far too long. And to be honest, he could have easily been champion a long time ago in terms of NXT, but Trick was still there, you know? So Tony's gonna win, but Oba's gonna beat the hell out of him. Like, this is not gonna be an easy win for him. He's definitely gonna take a lot of bumps on Sunday. Any whoosies. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Okay. So we have Halloween Havoc, and in this match, Kaylani is defending her North American Championship against one of the members of Fatal Influence. However, she is not aware of who she's defending against, and she doesn't know the stipulations of her match. Fatal Influence has the right to decide who she goes up against, and they have the right to decide what type of match she has. I thought that was a bit overkill on Kaylani.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. And I was like, y'all could have
That's a lot.
Y'all could at least let Kaylani be the one to spin the wheel because she already is at a disadvantage going into the match, not knowing who she's going up against. But now she has to wait until they decide who she's facing or like what she's facing, what type of match is going to be. Like, that's a lot to put on her as a champion. Y'all ain't even put Roxanne underneath that many restraints, you know? So I don't like it. It's ugly and it stank.
It's gonna, because I already see it happening. These three bitches are gonna be like, oh my god, we'll totally be like shared champions. And then someone's ego is gonna get in the way, or they're gonna accidentally hit somebody, or some shit like that.
It's gonna be that Jasmine bitch, so she can eat the pen.
I hope so. Because I really don't like her.
I feel like Zarya's gonna get that belt.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a feeling. But who we picking? You picking Kaylani or one of these Fatal Influence hoes?
Oh, with Kaylani.
Oh, Kaylani.
Unanimously, we are all picking Kaylani. So good luck, Kaylani girl, because you gonna need it. Now, I think this is the final match of the night. It is. Andre Chase will face off against Ridge Holland. Ridge Holland has finally turned into his evil form. For the last month and a half, I want to say, Ridge Holland has not only decimated all of Chase U, but he put at least two of their prominent members, Duke Hudson and Andre Chase, on the show. Andre Chase has been gone for a month and a half, maybe 2 months. Duke Hudson has been gone for a little bit less than that. Riley was the only one who was able to stay and not be attacked by Ridge or actually be taken out by Ridge. He was actually able to fight him off. This last time they fought, Andre Chase showed back up. So Andre Chase made the declaration that Ridge Holland and all his disrespect to Chase U and trying to kill Chase U, they're going to have an ambulance match at Halloween Havoc. So these matches are pretty heavy, which is why you have a few matches on the card. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it seems to be the standard to only have 5 matches on the PLE. And for the most part, titles are being defended. Most of the titles are being defended with the exception of the tag team titles, because just recently the tag team titles weren't defended. But instead of having them defend them on Sunday, they'll be defended on Tuesday against Javon Evans and Cedric Alexander. So all of the titles are being defended with the exception of the tag team titles. So can't complain about that, because I see that's a big complaint with some of y'all in WWE's booking. Now, this is the final match. Andre Chase is going to go up against Ridge Holland, which, if we're being honest, I would put this match first because the ambulance matches are really long. I mean, if I had to pick, I would go with Andre Chase for this. I feel like Andre Chase deserves to win. The last time that Andre was there, Ridge Holland beat the crap out of Andre Chase. I mean, he beat the brakes off of Andre. So Chase U needs this win if we're being honest. But Alexis, who you got?
Going with Chase U, Andre Chase.
Period. Nicole, you ready? You got your pick?
Oh, Andre Chase. I'm sick of Ridge.
Very good.
Maybe he'll finally go home. I'm trying to put my food together.
No, it's fine. I got you. All right. So, one more WWE conversation, and then we will move on to the next topic, y'all. Okay? Sir, Crown Jewel is coming, and Crown Jewel has a special stipulation. All right? So, in Crown Jewel, instead of it just being champion versus champion, the champions now have something to fight for. All right? Crown Jewel Championship, and this is the inaugural championship. Both sets of champions will be competing for an opportunity at holding this beautiful championship. Now, I'm not going to lie, it's a gorgeous title, but I'm very biased because I love green. And it is green. It is green and gold, and it has diamonds in it, and it just looks like something that I would love. And if they're selling it on the shop, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna fight every day to get it. I'm gonna get it.
Green,
So,
and it's pretty.
It's pretty. It's beautiful. It's a gorgeous build. It really is. I really, really like it. For now, Crown Jewel only has 3 matches, and by the time Saturday rolls around, we'll be 1 week out from Crown Jewel? Yeah, because Crown Jewel is that next Saturday on the 2nd. All right. So we'll be 1 week out from Crown Jewel on Saturday. First match that's up is Cody Rhodes versus Gunther. Both of these guys are your current champions for their respective brands. Raw and SmackDown, they will finally compete on Saturday, November 2nd. And this show starts at 1 p.m. Okay, remember they're in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, so they're not going to come on at night. It's going to come on in the middle of the afternoon at 1 p.m. Okay. This is the first time you're going to have a crown jewel champion. Okay. I think the only time they did that was that Greatest Royal Rumble was at Crown Jewel, and they gave that belt to Braun Strowman.
Yep.
And they haven't done that since. So I guess they decided, let's make a new one. You know, we ain't going to make Strowman defend his raggedy belt. We just going to make a new fucking belt.
Does anyone even remember that title?
I remember it because it was green. So I do remember the title. It's an okay looking title. I guarantee you this Crown Jewel title looks much better. But then you have the women's side where Nia Jax is your current WWE Women's Champion, and then you have Liv as your Women's World Champion. Both of these women are going to compete at Crown Jewel as well for the Women's Inaugural Championship for the Crown Jewel title. The belts are different for the men and the women. You know that in WWE, the straps for the women are on a white strap. The straps for the men are usually black, with the exception of the North American Championship. So you have that. And they already have booked the match for Bronson Reed and Seth freaking Rollins. So Bronson and Seth have had some volatile meetups as of lately. And they pushed Adam Pearce to the brink on Monday to the point where he announced that they had already made the match, which he could have avoided a lot of chaos and trauma if he had just told them when they was sitting down talking about each other that he made the fucking match. Adam make a lot of shit hard on himself. He just really do. He was all over
his pains, man.
No, he does. It was like Monday, Seth didn't even let the show start. Seth attacked Bronson from the time Bronson walked into the arena. Seth was walking up behind him and busting him in the back. And then he hit him with a suitcase and shit. They was fighting from the time the show started to the middle of the show. They were fighting. And it took all of that time for Adam to finally tell them, yo, y'all got the match. And he called them selfish bastards. And I was like, Adam, you're the one who curates this show and all of its chaos. You can't get mad when this is what you wanted. Oh. He's such a weirdo. But anyways, go ahead, Alexis.
Just a weird dude.
Such a weird. But anyways, that is Crown Jewel for right now. Don't know what else they're going to put on the card for Crown Jewel. I know that Randy Orton has been vying to have a match with Kevin Owens.
Listen, I love me Adam Pearce. Love that man.
I love Adam, but that man is acting up, okay? I can love you and still call you on your bullshit. Shit. I've been telling them that he's fine. Nobody be listening to me till they look at it and see it for themselves. Then they want to come on my team. Like, nah, keep your ass over there where you was at. Stay over there. Okay. So there's a few more things that I want to tell y'all before we move on to the next topic. Big E is going to be starring in a new TV show. I got to find my phone so I can pull it up. Because I don't remember the name of it. But Big E just announced on his social media that he's going to be starring in a new TV show. And we love that for Big E.
Good for him.
Let me see, what is it called? It's a new TV series. It's on Peacock, and it is called Laid. And it stars is it her name Stephanie Shu? Is that how you say her name? The girl from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I think it is.
Is that how you say her last name? Shu?
I think so.
I hope I'm saying her last name right. It stars her, and she's the lead character. It seems that Big E is one of the lovers that she ends up sleeping with, and they end up dying.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody that she sleeps with ends up dying somehow. She's trying to figure out why these people are dying and actually prevent them from dying. So, yeah. It's an odd concept, but it is something that I I want to watch because it seems really cool. And I like her. I like Stephanie. She's funny. But
That
yeah.
is wild.
The show premieres on the Peacock Network on December 13th, the day after my birthday.
Huh.
So I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it. It seems like a show that's like right up my alley, honestly. It kind of reminds me of shit like Jane the Virgin, where like she gets pregnant oddly. I still don't understand how that whole, she went to the doctor and he impregnated her by accident.
I think
I'm
so.
like, ain't that illegal?
That's a lawsuit in real life.
It's based on a telenovela.
Oh. Because it got really wonky towards the end of the show. Like somebody died.
Yeah.
It was a lot going on Jane the Virgin. But anyway, it kind of gives me that kind of vibes. But actually, you know what it does? If you've ever seen the movie Good Luck Chuck with Dane Cook, everybody that Dane Cook slept with ended up getting married after they slept with him. So it's kind of like that, but only difference is people dying when she sleep with him. Oh, yeah. Anyways, Biggie's in the movies and in the TV, and we love that for Biggie, okay? And he also does the panels for the pre-shows, and sometimes he's on there for the after show for a lot of the PLEs for WWE. So Biggie still works. You still get to see him. And he also has a cartoon comic that's out, like a webtoon.
Really?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know where it is. I saw it, I want to say a few weeks ago. I saw it, and I don't know where I saw it, but I saw it. It was on his page, and I don't think it's up anymore. I have to double check. But when I do, I'll make sure I give you clear information. Okay, I think that's it. WWE wise, there's really nothing else going on except for this part. So, if you watch the Vince McMahon documentary, then you know that there was some insane shit being told to us, okay? Now, me, I had no idea about the Ring Boys scandal. I didn't know anything about that. I wasn't aware of any of that. I knew about Pat Patterson and his sexual harassment issues, but I only knew about that with adult men and former superstars in the WWE. I had no idea that he was involved, as well as a ring announcer and an executive and other people were involved in assaulting these younger boys that were there for the WWE. I didn't know anything about that. So that came up in the documentary for the Vince McMahon documentary. If you haven't watched it, you very well should. We did not do a blow by blow of that, but I did it on my YouTube page, and I have all 6 episodes broken down like piece by piece, and you can listen to it podcast style if you want to hear my thoughts and opinions and all of that on everything that I heard. Okay. So the lawsuit, there's a new lawsuit that's been filed, and it was filed yesterday. It was filed by former WWF Ring Boys against the WWE, TKO, Vince McMahon, and Linda McMahon. It says in the press release that this was done, we saw it actually in the actual show. They actually put this in the show where they said that there was a lawsuit coming for WWE. But the press release says that DeCelio, Levitt, and Murphy, Falcone, and Murphy filed a major lawsuit today against the World Wrestling Federation Entertainment. And during the documentary at the end, it said on October 22nd, 5 John Does sued Vince McMahon, Linda McMahon, and WWE and TKO Holdings Group for the defendant's role in creating and allowing a culture of sexual abuse of underage boys. So like I said, I had no idea about the Ring Boys being assaulted like that. I didn't know anything about that. That was really, really heartbreaking to hear. And I didn't like how it was handled. And a lot of people were questioning why Linda McMahon was named in the lawsuit. And it's because at the time she was a part of the executives in the company. she was next in line, next to Vince. That hierarchy is not fake. That is real. So she was responsible because she's a part of the company, or she was. So I would name her in the lawsuit too. And everybody's asking why they're naming TKO in the lawsuit and why they're naming WWE, because Vince McMahon was in charge at the time and not them. And the thing is, it's very similar to how Cassie did Diddy. If you name the companies, one, you hit them where it hurts and you force their hand. If you just go after Vince, you kind of may or may not win. Okay. At the time frame that the Ring Boys were in play, they were under the WWF, which is currently now the WWE. So all of that ties in together, and TKO currently owns the company. Does it make them responsible for what happened in the past? No. But because now they are the ones who own the company, unfortunately, they have to suffer the consequences of the past. It's the sins of the past here. Okay? It is what it is. You hit them where it hurt. That insurance, that liability that they use to cover themselves when these types of situations happen, that's what it's for. It's going to kick in. They'll figure out some kind of way to either quietly make this go away, or they'll pay out the lawsuit.
I'm telling you right now, both of them cases, they're going to settle.
They better, unless they want all that shit to come out.
I'm telling you, both of them cases, they're going to settle.
Now, the full press release says that on behalf of the 5 survivors of sexual abuse, the survivors are listed as John Does 1 through 5. They were known within WWE as the Ring Boys, underage boys hired by the organization's ringside announcer and ring crew chief, Melvin Phillips Jr., to assist with errands and other tasks in preparation for WWE's wrestling shows. The underage Ring Boys were groomed, exploited, and sexually abused by Phillips, who targeted children from broken homes. This makes it even fucking worse. Jesus Christ. His sexual assaults occurred not only at the wrestling venues, but also at hotel rooms and countless other places. They said that there are countless of others who have suffered in silence for decades, and they thank the bravery of our clients. We finally have a chance to hold these people accountable who allowed and enabled the open, rampant sexual abuse of these young boys. That so many were aware of sexual abuse of the Ring Boys and did nothing to prevent or stop it is simply inconsolable. He said the survivors only recently learned of the depth of the knowledge that the McMahons and the WWE had about what happened to them, and that sexual abuse in the company started at the top with the McMahons. The filing of the Grant lawsuit and the acquisition of WWE by TKO and the ouster of Vince McMahon as CEO have all provided new insights and the possibility of coming forward without incurring retribution and intimidation by the McMahons.
So I know a little bit about the Ring Boy scandal. There's a couple of documentaries about it on YouTube. And it's disgusting. If you guys want to look up on it, I would recommend having a very strong stomach or a very strong drink next to you while you're looking it up. I actually had one of my friends request that the what happened was wanted me to talk about that, and I said, no, man, I am not gonna do that because it makes me physically sick to talk about it. They gotta settle, because how can I put this? I know I'm really trying to think of like the right way of saying this. Like, we all know Vince is going to hell. Like, he's going to go to like the lowest layer of hell possible, right? For like the really big assholes of the world.
Yeah.
And the fact is just that if Pat Patterson was not one of his boys, and this is why I did not shed a tear when that man died, is that if it wasn't one of Vince's boys, this would have been well known more than than it is now, if that makes sense. Because it was Pat Patterson and a few other people, and it's disgusting to think that they used these boys, they did what they did to them, and they got away with it for as long as they did.
I'm not surprised. I am surprised that they allowed children to be harmed like that. I'm surprised at that. I'm hurt by that because I'm like, these kids were innocent. And then you went and got inner city youth or youth from troubled homes, kids who you knew weren't going to say anything or rock the boat. When you knew that, you preyed upon them. That makes it even worse. It's bad enough they were children, but you used children who were already suffering from some type of trauma or some type of, poverty. You did that shit on purpose. And that really makes me angry. And not only that, but like, God, it's like you can't escape. You go from you being, and Vince has been like this his whole life, it seems.
Huh?
He's been like this his whole life. So when you watch that documentary, you really do get a better insight into him. Because
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but we need to save his brain like Walt Disney's.
No, deadass.
I mean, I'm being like, he needs to be studied.
Oh, no, I agree. Because if they can look at serial killers' brains and figure out what caused them, like if there was like some kind of physical, like blunt trauma or some shit,
Yeah.
Vince's brain needs to be kept in a jar so we can see why. I mean, and the thing that just makes me so upset about this is that Vince, and I'm not defending the man at all, Vince had a fucked up childhood. He really did. But that's no excuse to anyone to treat people the way that he has treated people his entire life.
No, but it explains why and how he does it. You can you're not making excuses. You're stating facts that lead you to the truth, if that makes sense. You're understanding it. It's not something that you agree with, but you understand now why he is the way that he is.
That even goes into that Rolling Stone article that just came out about the WWE writers.
Oh, Lord. I saw that.
Wait.
And
I did not see that.
yeah.
Well, yeah, because the writers came out and said that Vince was sexually harassing them as well.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
No, wasn't it? It was, and it wasn't just women. I think it was men too.
Well, no, this is a separate one.
Separate one.
These are like, yeah, they're just talking about this. They're just talking about the work environment.
They said
like how it was.
A kingdom
like
rule.
the chaos of it,
Yeah.
and like how they'll be changing shit like last minute, and it was just like how he would be screaming at on writers and blah blah. And so I was listening to the Ritter podcast again. You can tell I opened this week, and it's Kaz and Schumacher show, and Kaz, obviously people don't know, Kazim was worked for WWE as a writer for a time. He worked a lot with the New Day, and like especially when they were on their big tag run, and this is like when WWE creative was like really in the shitter. And he was saying that he could tell by which story who was who. He said, I know every single one of those people. I was like, obviously, I'm not going to give her names, but he's like, I know exactly who that is by what story. And the weird thing is I don't know, because somebody was talking about like appearance, how he was like really big on your appearance. And like for Schumacher, this was so weird. For you to have looked over all of this footage, hundreds of hours of footage of fucking Vince, and for that doc, and you are so weirded out that he likes to make sure that his writing staff and that people that work in that backstage area are dressed well and dressed professionally and look nice. Do you think that's weird? Out of all the weird fucking shit he said on camera,
That's the thing
do
that
you
was
think that
weird.
is a weird?
I
I
actually,
was like, that is one of the most semi-normal fucking things about that man.
Yeah,
oh no,
that's
you work for a major fucking company, and I mean, like, mm, okay, like I get the atmosphere because each work atmosphere is different. That having to wear like actual dress pants and actually showing up and looking like you give a shit about your job is one thing. That's something that shouldn't even be brought into a conversation. People should be focused
Yeah.
more on the fact that this piece of shit did this for so long and so many people knew, and it was probably one of the worst kept secrets in wrestling how much of an asshole Vince really is. And now it's all coming out and people are like shocked about it, and I'm like, no, we've known about this. We've legit known, but we didn't know how far it really was. Like, we were like, we know Vince is a piece of shit. We didn't know he was doing all this other crap that was being brought up in all these original lawsuits and stuff like that. I'm noticing this on TikTok. People are trying to still defend Vince McMahon, and I'm like, you cannot defend this guy. He has no qualities to defend. He hurt people. He enjoyed doing it. He is a sadist in the purest form possible. He liked having control of people. And to be honest, it doesn't shock me because it seems like every other week there's another new lawsuit attached to WWE. And guess who's the reason behind the lawsuit? This fucker.
I mean, so I understand why a lot of people are defending him, right? And it's not because they want you to see him as a good man. The fear is that you've been watching and enjoying something that a monster has created. And that's what people are defending or attempting to defend. Oh, well, he created the WWE. Without him, we wouldn't have what we have now. All these things can be true. There are 2, 3, sometimes 4 things can be right at the same time. He is a monster. He is a sexual deviant. And he also created a form of entertainment that we all still enjoy to this day. That's just the reality of it. The question is, can you separate church and state? If you can't do that, that's fine. Totally understand that. But don't defend him because you want to defend your right to watch what you watch. If you watch the show and you enjoy the show, then watch the show. Right
Because
now,
I know my ass turned on to NXT 2 hours later.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we're not, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's my point. Like, you gotta learn, and it's different because I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, how come you don't say that about R. Kelly's music or now Diddy's music? And it's because you can actually sit and hear their voices singing, and usually what they're singing about is sexually assaulting another person.
Oh no, because I was listening to some song the other day that showed up on my Pandora. Forgot what it was, but then Diddy started rapping on it. I said, "Oh no, I can't listen to this."
Yeah, I
No.
mean, it's just the reality of it is, it's like there's a way to do everything, and for you if you want to listen to that music, that's your business. I can't, because when I hear R. Kelly singing, I hear him singing to a child, and it makes me want to throw up. And I really hate that. He had a lot of songs that I absolutely loved. I love those songs. And I haven't been able to listen to R. Kelly since I found out the truth. I mean, I haven't listened to Trey songs since that story came out with BB Rexa. Matter of fact, it was before that, when Keke Palmer had came out about Trey songs. I haven't listened to him since then. And that's been years ago. And I love Trey Songz, but he's got too much baggage. Like, he's got a lot of allegations, a lot of stuff where he's being accused of rape more than once. He's been cornering women, making it, being very overly aggressive, overly sexually aggressive. If that makes sense. And it's more than just one woman who's come forward and say that that's happened to them. I don't like it. So I distance myself. But if you're watching WWE, at the time that we were watching it, they didn't say anything about the lawsuit or anything. And then the lawsuit comes out. And you're like, well, shit. Like, we knew this was a piece of shit, but goddamn. What the fuck?
I think it was just the acts that came out that he was doing.
Oh, God.
And, like, I mean, we're going to have to deal with this because a certain Canadian with the initial CB did some of the most atrocious things to his wife and son. And there are people today in 2024 that are still defending him.
Child and weirdos.
It's the same thing because, like, look, I was a really big fan of him. Okay? Like, that was my guy. To this day, I cannot watch anything with him involved. If Wrestling with Regret is talking about a match that he is involved with, I can't watch one of my favorite matches with him and Eddie Guerrero in it. I can't do that. And while people will say, like, oh, Vince made the WWE, I wasn't watching WWE. This is how I can separate it, and hopefully this might help some people out. I wasn't watching for WWE for Vince or his kids and his wife. In fact, when they came on my TV, I could care the fuck less about them, okay? I was watching it for the wrestlers. I was watching for that. I don't care that, I got sick of seeing Vince on my TV because I was like, this is like 30 minutes where we could have had a match, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I try to tell people. I don't watch for Vince McMahon. Okay, I don't watch for Stephanie, Shane, Linda, whatever. I watch because I love pro wrestling. And I like WWE. That's what I'm watching it for. Did Vince have a lot to do with it? Yeah. But you know what? You don't have to watch the stuff that Vince was a part of. And that's what I was trying to tell somebody now. It's like Vince is gone. It is a new era in WWE. Come back and watch it. And if you still don't like it, you don't have to watch it anymore. There's different options for you to choose from.
What's interesting to me is that you can be on your high horse about the WWE and fans of WWE, but you don't have that same smoke for the CEOs of Walmart or Kellogg's or fucking Amazon
or fucking Elon Musk.
I mean, you're on Twitter and Elon Musk ain't shit. You're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, and Mark Zuckerberg is a guppy fish bitch. Y'all know this. Y'all know these companies are gouging us in the pocket. Inflation is nuts. Do you know that trick-or-treat candy is $25 a bag?
Are you fucking serious?
I'm dead ass.
I still have to go get some.
Girl. $25.
That's fucking insane, and they know it.
$25 for the little mini chocolate. Because when Halloween come around, they don't never give you gotta buy Wonka bags. The Wonka bags of candy to get candy.
Buy a whole box of like actual.
I fucking hate that one because it fucking has Milky Ways in it. I hate.
Nobody eats Milky Ways.
No, for real.
Okay, chill.
Y'all just gonna have to listen to this segue because candy is $25 a bag. And I told Dry, I said, you know what? I went online, I looked at BJ's, and BJ's, they give you can go in BJ's or Costco's, you can go at Sam's, you can get the big box of candy bars. And they have Skittles in there, M&Ms, and all kind of shit. It's $35. You get 36 pieces of candy. Okay? I told y'all we gonna buy 2 boxes of them candies next year. And we giving out 1 big candy bar or 1 bag of Skittles per thing. And once we out, bitch, we out. Lights going out. We're coming in the house. I'm like, I'm not paying $200 for candy to hand out to little kids. Who's doing that? $25 for a bag of candy.
And now half the time it's like kids don't even fucking go trick-or-treating on Halloween anymore. And it's just like, what the fuck? See, now you're going to get me going on a segue.
No, because that's look at what we looking at. Then you look at the store, you go to the grocery store. I remember, matter of fact, just a few months ago, I like Raisin Bran. Kiss my ass. Some of y'all don't like it. I don't care. I like Raisin Bran. I love it. I like Raisin Bran, and I buy it in the double box. It was $6.98. I looked online today because we was going grocery shopping. It's $20. $20 for a double box of fucking Raisin Bran.
That's
$20. Kellogg's is nuts. Now, everybody been boycotting them for the last couple of months. I've been boycotting them. And I was like, I want some goddamn Raisin Bran. Shit is $20. I ain't never seen no shit like that. And they just going up on prices. But again, I'm just saying, to go back to my point, I see the outrage online, but your grocery receipts still say the same shit. You don't have a problem with walking in Walmart, and then some of the Walmarts, they done took away self-checkout because motherfuckers keep stealing shit.
Well, yeah, because, dude, like, think about it. It's okay. The whole thing, and this is what I was trying to explain to my parents.
Buying crab legs still.
Okay.
Look, it's not my fault that people, look, that's your problem for figuring out that people were buying PS5s for the prices of a, like, 2 pounds worth of banana. That's not on me. That's on you for being dumb. Okay?
Ignorant.
No, because for real, like, I'll be like, oh, you know what? I only have to pay $2 for a PS5. Look away, God, because I'm about to do some morally grave shit right now for God of War 2, okay?
That's crazy.
But, I mean, it's just like, not even, like, major corporations, man, because we could sit here all day and be like that. Why don't, like, people who own fucking sports teams, like, what, the Oakland A's are fucking moving out of Oakland just to try to put it back in, like, a sports thing, right? Oakland A's, everybody's bitching that they're leaving. I'm not an Oakland A's fan, but they're all bitching because the owner was doing some shady ass shit and, like, not improving the stadium and not paying them enough. And I'm like, I get it. Y'all love your sports teams, but, like, y'all could do something. I mean, like, look what the Jacksonville Jaguars did to fucking Nick Khan and all that shit. They dressed up as clowns and they all filled up that stadium looking like clowns.
Oh, girl. If we go on sports teams, I think me and Nicole got one up on you.
Take the stage, darling.
Oh yeah, no, it's bad right now. I can see that.
Terrible.
It's real bad.
So you got it's a twofold problem, okay? One, Deshaun Watson is still the quarterback, and this nigga just tore his Achilles.
Ooh.
Just tore it, okay? Not only that, but this motherfucker got 30 lawsuits. He done settled 26 of them. And there's a new one that just came out. What was it, earlier this year, you said, Jared? Week 1 of the games, a new lawsuit came forward. The NFL is still trying to determine if they're going to allow the Browns to be able to cut him, because they gave him they told him straight up, if you have any more lawsuits that come out while you're playing football, that's it for you. And the NFL is going to intervene. He got another lawsuit. So now they waiting to see if they're going to drop the hammer on him or not. So he got that. Not only that, but again, he just tore his Achilles in the previous game. So he out for the whole season. Gone. We just lost our backup quarterback. He injured. We are down to the wire. with Jay Winston. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Winston. I think he's a very sweet, humble guy. And I hope that he performs well. But then these motherfuckers did some dirty shit. Because Stefanski, trying to protect his ass, decided, okay, I'm going to let the offensive coordinator do his job now. So now, the offensive coordinator get to call the plays for the offense. Kevin Stefanski said, I'm hands off now. You got your first-string quarterback to play. Okay?
Okay.
Third-string quarterback is playing. And you decide now that your offensive coordinator is capable of calling the plays for your offense. Okay, that's the first problem. Okay, I ain't even got to the good part yet.
Okay.
The second problem is the city of Cleveland is mad because the owner has decided to go ahead with Brook Park to move their stadium out there. Now, if y'all ain't seen the concept for this damn stadium,
It looks
it's
nuts.
WrestleMania worthy. That's how fucking crazy that stadium looks. Okay? It is on the level of hosting WrestleMania. I said, you can't be serious.
Yeah, you sent that in our podcast group chat, and I was like, this is a stadium?
That is a
Yep.
stadium.
Bitch,
Not
I
only is
could
it a
live here.
stadium, it's a practice facility in there. So they will be moving from Berea. Isn't that where they practice, AJ? They practice in Berea. So the city of Berea will lose that. And the city of Cleveland will lose the stadium. Now, I know some of y'all are like, well, Tiffany, that don't sound right. Let me explain. Okay? Y'all have to remember, the Cleveland Browns are on the lakefront. Okay? And our stadium, back in the day, was an open stadium. It did not have a dome. You got to think, we are in the north. Okay? We own the lake, bitch. It gets cold.
Yes. And you guys get really bad windstorms, too.
Okay? And that lakefront snow ain't no joke. That's different from regular snow. And it's icy. See, you're talking about playing football in the dead of winter in Cleveland? You're crazy. Okay? Because you're going to die out there. Especially if you're not from here. You're going to die out there. It's cold. Downtown is not a nice place to be in the middle of the winter. Now, in 1999, when they built this new stadium, the original plan was for to have it a dome. It was announced that they was going to have a dome on the beach. They said, no, we're going to go with tradition. This stadium has been up in Cleveland since 1999. It's 2024.
See, that blows my mind because, okay, coming from like somebody who grew up where it would rain, like
Those fucking benches, those mother benches
Girl.
are awful.
yeah,
Girl.
didn't you guys tell me they still have like the wooden like seats that
They're
like
plastic.
Yes.
Those really thin plastic seats. The old school traditional seats are what's out there.
oh Jesus.
So this is what you want. Like, and it was like the city, because the city of Cleveland
I
has
literally have a picture of me recently on that. Hold on.
it was
Because like I remember you saying that was the reason why you wanted to get for SummerSlam because the chairs were being uncomfortable.
they're uncomfortable, and they redid the seats so that they're smaller.
So here's my thing, because like I grew up, okay, if y'all haven't heard the show before, I grew up in Florida where every day we're battling hurricanes and the animals are all trying to kill us. We have like, well, Tropicana Field, I don't know what's going to happen to that because Milton decided to throw a bitch fit and rip the entire stadium roof off. But our main one is Raymond James Stadium. That's where they had WrestleMania. That's where the Tampa Bay Bucks play. It is a open stadium. It don't close. So and I've been to a couple of Bucks games that if it starts raining, you're in there. And, unless it's like lightning and shit, and then they make you go somewhere. But, we don't get that covered. I always thought it would make more sense for the more north you are, you would want to have that domed arena.
Correct.
Just, because it gets cold up there. It's one thing. Hell, I wish Raymond James was domed because you'd be sitting out there in August and it's fucking 98 degrees.
Okay.
It's like Oh my God, someone kill me. Why'd I come out of my house?
It's like to make you understand, they are such sticklers for tradition. Like, that's the big problem. I hope we didn't lose Alexis.
I feel like we did.
I think we lost her. But they're such a big stickler for tradition. And I don't understand it. But y'all, I'm gonna make it short and sweet so we can move on and go back to wrestling. So the other part of this is that they have decided that they're gonna move from Cleveland to Brook Park. The city of Cleveland is trying to prevent them from doing that because you have downtown, the bars and stuff are upset. They feel like they're going to lose business, which I 100% disagree. You have, not only do you have business from the baseball team, but you also have a lot of business and traffic from the basketball team, and you still got the fucking casino down there. Okay? So you're not going to lose any business. And number two, they felt like they're going to invoke the Art Modell law. Now, the Art Modell law came into play when they moved the Cleveland Browns to Baltimore Ravens back in the day. Okay? They're using the loophole of them moving cities because technically Brook Park is a suburb of Cleveland. So, because they have their own mayor, they got their own money, they got their own shit, technically they have moved the Browns to Brook Park, but the Browns aren't being called the Brook Park Browns. They're still called the Cleveland Browns. So they're using the loophole of this damn law to try to keep the Cleveland Browns in downtown Cleveland. The mayor is young and he black and he don't want to be the mayor that lost the Cleveland Browns. This is the basics of it. Because if it was Frank, if it was Mayor Frank, nobody would give a shit. And he would just accept it because he didn't give a damn. But this younger mayor, he don't want to be the mayor that lost the Cleveland Browns under his tenure. He don't want that.
It's gonna happen. So
They might as well just let him do it. Because the facility that the way they don't even want to tear down the Cleveland Browns stadium. They just want to renovate it. Which is not enough because you still have to close up that whole stadium. All them open sides in the stadium, all that shit got to be closed. You might as well tear the bitch down and rebuild it. They don't want to do that. The proposal for the dome is whack compared to what they could get out in Brook Park. The city of Brook Park, the people in there, they're mad because they felt like the city shouldn't be spending money, taxpayer dollars, to get sports teams to come to the city. Y'all are crazy. The sports team,
fucking losers.
like them being in your city is what's going to attract tourism. It's going to bring people there. That brings money to the city. If your taxes not going to go up because they're there. You know what I'm saying? It's such a bad moment, and it makes us look like we already getting fucked over because of this Deshaun Watson shit, right? And now you got this shit looming over the team. The team can't catch a fucking break. Nick Chubb just came back, and he penned this beautiful letter in the Players Tribune. It was so sweet, and I was like, "Oh, my Chubb." I was so crazy. He was a Jerry. Did you read this? Did you read the letter? It was so sweet. And then this shit happens. I'm just hoping they can salvage this season somewhat. But again, like I said, shit happens, okay? And you have to roll with it. We can't stop watching the Browns because the Browns are making decisions. We're not the ones making the decisions. It's not our decision of what's happening amongst the organization and the companies. We can't control that. You can control where you put your money. You can control what you give a view to. If you feel like it's important to you to not watch something that you don't support how they move and what they're doing, that's fine. But you got to apply that to everything is all I'm saying. You can't have it both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't grandstand on one side and ask us, how dare you watch WWE, and then turn around and receive your Amazon package in the mail the next day. Because I know somebody was pissing in bottles or holding in bodily functions to make sure that package got to you in 2 days. So if you're gonna have that type of behavior, then at bare minimum, keep that same energy with everything. Okay? I'm gonna pause this. So this is where we're gonna cut it off because we are in part 1 of the. It was a 2-hour show that we recorded. I think it was like 2 hours and 30 minutes. And I don't want to keep y'all on here way longer than you have to be. And sometimes for an hour can be a bit much. So if you guys want the second part, it should be coming up within the next couple of minutes, or at least within the next day or so. You should get part 2. But we was talking, we was vibing, we was having a good time. So I hope you guys enjoy. And we not only covered wrestling in this episode, we covered a lot of other stuff. Probably gonna pop up in the second half. But I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time.